And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Not just a no-show, but their head coach, Robert Saleh, said it's an unexcused absence and he will be subjected to a fine. It just seemed, he said that he's at an event that's important to him and that he did let the team know about it, but that they're still going to fine him for it. It's just a bizarre messaging.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol
is now opening a mere 3 minutes late. What's up on a Wednesday? And thanks for sticking with us. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you doing? You all right? Decent day back there. It gets better. It gets better. I promise. Hope you're well. And getting ready for Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight, which will be in Texas, as the Mavericks need. It's. I mean, you kind of got to win game, but really, it's a must-win game. I know there's another one if they lose, but it's a must-win game. It goes beyond kind of got to win, and we are dealing with what may be the most famous ever torn medial retinac, knee. I mean calf. I mean injury. Torn medial retinaculum, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon. Ever. Retinaculum. Torn medium. Yeah, that's Kristaps Porzingis. Let me give you phone numbers and let's play radio today. 505-246-0610. Come on in and be part of the opening drive. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animals phone line. It is also the Sports Animals text line. And you can send emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the Twitter, find JJ, and he's a great follow. You should follow him if you're not. It's _JJ Buck. That's on X now. And on the Facebook, OD in the AM. Have you ever heard of I'm not going to lie. I mean, I plugged out of medical school. Torn medial retinaculum, allowing the dislocation of the posterior tibialis.
Nope, but you learn something every day in sports.
It's funny. Kenny Thomas sits here, and he can't say Porzingis, let alone torn medial retinaculum, allowing the dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon. But he said, see, I told you that guy was going to get hurt again, Porzingis, and he was really good in game one. He is hurt a lot. And when you're a big dude like that, and, it's not a foot problem, although it's a leg problem, and I always worry about foot problems, foot injuries with big guys. I don't know that we're going to see him again, to be honest with you, in this series, and I don't know that the Celtics need him, to be honest with you, in this series.
Yeah, if you're Dallas, you just hope you can take advantage of the size inside. Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, get those guys, get them on the boards, because Horford isn't necessarily going to suck up all the minutes, and that's an area where Boston doesn't have a lot of depth, is at the forward position due to some injuries. So can they be aggressive, use their size, win the battle on the boards, and try to take advantage of a must-win game tonight, Game 3 at home?
Game 3 in Dallas, 6:30 our time. That's what time they're going to tip. And it's the other piece is Kyrie. Where is Kyrie and when is he going to show up? And he kind of, JJ, talked a little bit about how he was pressing. He went back to Boston. He wanted to play so well. And he's acknowledged he hasn't played well. And, I mean, I appreciate the self-awareness, and I think everybody else does. Now it's, all right, dude, let's go play basketball. Quote Kyrie Irving, it started with me just telling my hermano, I got to play better for him alongside him. In order for us to accomplish our goal, we both have to be playing well, and we both have to be doing little things, doing whatever it takes to win. Easy conversation, but it started with me reaching out, just telling him, I know it's my fault, taking accountability for not playing particularly well, end quote. It's him talking to Luke. Kyrie's averaged 14 points on 35% shooting from the floor. 0 for 8 from three-point land over the first two games of the series, which were in Boston. Now, he went into the finals having a terrific playoff. He was averaging almost 23 points per game and shooting close to 49%. Can this just be attributed to I'm pressing too hard? I mean, I know the Boston fans are saying we're in his head. And we look what we've done to Kyrie. We've done this and we've gotten in his head. Can it be attributed to just dude was pressing too hard and trying to do too much going back to Boston? Could it be maybe he's in a shooting slump? Could it be all of it? Could it be none of it? I don't know. I'm not sure how you just snap out of it, but they need him to in Game 3.
The majority of this is the Boston Celtics defense. Not he's trying too hard.
That's right. I think that's right.
Let's look at the length and size of Boston versus what Kyrie Irving is facing right now. Every switch, there's a guy that's bigger than him on him. And as good as he is, as great of a story as it's been, just straight basketball-wise, Celtics are winning everything on the floor.
How do they fix that? And maybe they can't. The answer could be they just can't.
It really is just one of those things where the dude has to just go off. Like Kyrie hits a couple tough shots early, starts having one of those games because there's not going to be a way you're like, oh, let's get some easy looks in this matchup. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, and then Luka just continues to do what Luka does. I mean, he's beat up and chest, knee, and everything else that he's got. I think Dallas wins tonight, but boy, it feels like Boston at 5 at this point, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Dallas gets one. I don't think they get swept, right?
I think they get one.
If Boston sweeps them, it'll be 4-4-5-4. That's the way Boston would have gone through the playoffs. If Boston sweeps them, they'll play one more than the minimum. Will we look at this as one of the best runs ever through the playoffs? I know I haven't heard a lot of conversation on this because people don't consider this to be that good of a team, and maybe they should. I'm not telling you they're all-time great. I'm not telling you. But if they go 4-4-5-4, that wouldn't be right, no, would it? They went 5-5-4-4. That's what it would be? Yeah, it would be 5-5-4-4. They lost game 2 of the first 2 series against Miami and Indiana. Or who's the second series? Who'd they play in the second series? Not Indiana. Indiana was in the final.
It's Cleveland.
So it would be 5-5-4-4. Would that be one of the best runs ever? It would be, right? 2 games over the minimum? No?
People don't consider the competition they played in the Eastern Conference good enough to be best runs ever.
If you play 2 over the minimum, I wonder what the shortest amount, since the format has gone to 4 7-game series, what the least amount of games that was played. I mean, at some point, if they do that, you got to consider it. Or maybe you don't. I guess you don't have to. So that's what's going on in the NBA tonight. 505-246-0610. Luka Doncic had a pain-killing shot. It was revealed before game 2. He may get another one. That's the expectation. It was to his thoracic contusion. And we're playing biology there. Or genealogy, bodyology, whatever we're playing. We're playing doctors, pre-med class. You didn't realize you were going through that today, did you, when you woke up? A pain-killing injection to numb the area in his thoracic contusion, the chest area. You see him wearing that around the chest. It's expected that he will get another injection before tonight's game. He's listed as probable. He's playing. I mean, like bet the mortgage he's playing. He said, I feel good after practice yesterday. I don't want to get into any more details, but I feel good. Look, he's beat up. I think everybody's beat up, man. This is a long season. 82 games, and then they played, what did they go, 6? I don't even remember. But, I mean, throw another 20 to 30 games on there. A lot of damn games. He was downgraded questionable before game 2. And then he went through his pregame warm-ups and played 42 minutes, and he was fine. He's got the sprained right knee. He's got the thoracic contusion. He's played all 19 of their playoff games. And he's leading in all their statistical categories. I'm not worried about him playing, but he is beat up. I mean, there's no doubt. It's what you do, right? You get to this point. This is the pinnacle of your professional career. You're playing for an NBA championship, and you take shots to your thoracic contusion and go out and play. And
he's performed. Entire postseason.
I mean, who's been better than him? Who's been more consistent than him, period, in the playoffs? Maybe Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, from a scoring standpoint.
Yeah.
But Brown hasn't scored as much because that's not the way the Celtics operate.
No, but playing to the strengths of their game.
Pretty much everyone on the Celtics roster.
Except for maybe Jason Tatum.
But I think I think people are nitpicking his scoring when the dude has double-digit rebounds and 12 assists in the game. Like, he's not showing up in the finals.
I got no problem with Jason Tatum. I know a lot of people do. I got no problem with Jason Tatum. But, JJ, what would be worse for Jason Tatum? If they lose or if they win and somebody else is the MVP?
Oh, man. Someone else being the MVP, right?
Stupid. Stop. All right, lots of 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. When we come back, calling roll call. Where's D-Nice? D-Nice? It's Denise. Don't do that, Denise. Aaron. Where's Aaron? No Aaron? Where's Aaron? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange.
Ain't no where you at? You mean JJ? Don't do this. Be nice. It's Denise. I'm gonna. Where's Aaron? Aaron. You know Aaron? Aaron got some stuff that was important to him, and he's unexcused. He's not here. Ain't no Aaron at Jets camp. And Hassan Reddick's not there either, and that's an issue too. But it's not Aaron Rodgers, so I don't know that matters. What will be blown up more? Jason Tatum's lack of scoring in the NBA playoffs, or Aaron Rodgers on whatever trip he's on, wherever he is?
Aaron.
Is that big of a deal? I heard this morning coming in, somebody on a national show suggest that they should have moved. I mean, instead of Aaron taking his trip or doing whatever he does next week or last week or the week after, the Jets should have changed the dates of minicamp to accommodate him. That they should have either let offense report 2 days late or whatever to accommodate him to avoid this circuit. I'm like, are you out of your mind? So let me make sure I understand something. We're going to put this date on everybody's calendar for 6 months. You leave in January. All right, minicamp is going to be June 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever it is. And I'm going to send you back a note, everybody, 2 to 3 weeks. Hey, we're moving it up. It's not going to be the 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's going to be the 16th, 17th, and 18th because Aaron needs something really. Are you out of your mind? But that's literally a conversation people are having.
Do you want your starting quarterback at mandatory minicamp?
What if he showed up? And by the way, I'm not too worried that he's not my starting quarterback's not at minicamp. Well, Tyrod's getting more reps. It's really good for Tyrod. Okay, Robert Saleh can stop with that too. And I don't know what Robert Saleh, the head coach, is supposed to say. I don't know what you're supposed to say to make it feel good. But this will be the circus this year. The Jets will be. Aaron Rodgers said, what was it? Right after, was it during an OTA? And he's been at all the OTAs, and they're all playing this off like it's nothing. I don't think it's a huge deal. I'm not the guy that's going to jump on this and lose my mind. But he's the one who said all the off-field BS we got to get rid of and all this other stuff. And if it's not about football, if it's not about winning. And then, look, I'm sure he's got something that's important to him, whether it's a trip, a wedding, a darkness, well, whatever. I'm sure there's something that's important to him, and obviously he knows he holds all the cards. It's poor optics or visuals or whatever, but whatever. I like when it's all said and done, when they go to camp in July, you think this is going to matter? Because I don't.
No, I don't think it's going to matter. I think for the Jets, it's about just the messaging being on the same page. Because it sounds bad when it's Robert Saleh, it's an excused absence, but we knew he wasn't going to be there, and so it comes across weird just to person X who's listening to the headlines. Aaron Rodgers, unexcused absence at camp, and then you're like, well, what's the point? He's said all this. He's been at mini camp. The other ones are voluntary camps, and so it's an easy headline to run with the team. It sounds like they were prepared for it. But even with the team being prepared, it's not like they laid out. They could have easily sent they didn't want to fall into it. Just be like, oh, by the way, minicamp starting, Aaron Rodgers is not here. We knew he wasn't going to be here, but we still have to approach it as this because this is our rules, and we're going to find it.
I'm listening to some of the media say, well, why didn't they tell us before? Why should they? Why? So you could track it down?
But it's that big. It's Aaron Rodgers starting quarterback of the Jets. Who's not there, and you're saying it's an inexcused absence, but you knew about it.
Yeah. So do you think they're obligated to tell?
Not where he is, but you can say
he's not going to be here.
Not going to be here. We know this, but here we go.
Yeah,
because you have to answer those same questions in press conferences.
Right. You're answering them now,
and you're one that talks about this a lot. Yeah. Address something.
Yeah, and I think they addressed it yesterday, and I don't know that there was an easy way to address it. I think I heard the explanation that TMZ and they'd be trying to track him down, and wherever he is, there'd be a media.
You don't have to say where he is.
I know. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, so what would be the difference if you knew last week or you knew yesterday? What's the difference?
It's like right before camp started, like you could leak that report or have whoever come out and say Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. Team knows about it, but
you're still at some
team
point.
Roles there, he's being fine.
At some point, whenever the first press availability is, he's going to have to. He could have told you a month ago. He could have told you an hour. He going to have to do the same thing, don't you think? At the first press conference, and just give you the same response, the same canned response he gave you yesterday. So, I mean, instead of me having to talk about it for a week leading up to it, if I'm them, I wouldn't have leaked it. I wouldn't have told you.
Not like the day before.
Yeah, whatever. Isn't that when they did it? The day before? Or was it when?
Pretty much, it came yesterday when they showed up at camp. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, Rodgers is not here."
I just wouldn't have, because he's all anybody wants to talk about anyway. If I'd have known, and look, how long do you think they knew? A month, a day, a week?
Sounds like they knew for a while.
Yeah, I don't even know what a while means, though. It could be a week, it could be a month, whatever. I wouldn't let it out because that's all anybody would want to ask me about. That's all anybody would want to talk about.
That's all they're talking about now.
I understand. So I condensed it. I just brought it down to now.
Why would you do it the day before?
I guess, yeah, and then you can get it out of the way. But it's still it's going to be the deal until and even after. But Robert Saleh had to address it. I mean, we're having a conversation about
because the initial things that came out were Aaron Rodgers not at Jets camp,
right?
Because Robert Saleh, they speak after that, and then so you had all that time.
How much time do we have? I mean, about a day. Is that what we're talking about?
Of the headlines where Aaron Rodgers not there. No one knows why. What's it up? Then after the fact, the Jets are like, oh, by the way, we knew it. Why not just do it earlier in the day?
Oh, I'm fine earlier in the day. But
or the day before to be like, Aaron's not going to be here.
Yeah.
We know that. So don't make stuff up.
Okay. I'm fine. But what you're saying is, why not let me know, a week ago or a couple of days ago or whatever. And that's all you would have talked about until.
No, I'm saying, yes, the day before camp starts. Say, we know Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be here.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And.
Yeah.
But we have to call it an excused absence. But the team's on the same page with the quarterback. Because there was that time, no one knew the team was on the same page.
Yeah, and I think because the word's unexcused absence, and they're like, yeah, fine, go do it, but it's unexcused. Meaning, look, we can't just let everybody do it. We can't just say it's excused. He's going to be fined by the CBA schedule, the collective bargaining schedule, whatever the fine is. So he's going to get fined for missing training, as is Hassan Reddick.
Because this is the noise Rodgers is talking about, not wanting to create, and he's creating it.
100%. So Rodgers and Reddick are subject to a $16,953, so $17,000 fine for missing the first day, almost $34,000 for the second day, and then Reddick forfeited a $250,000 workout bonus. Reddick wants a new contract. He just got traded by the Eagles over here to the Jets. He's due to make non-guaranteed $14.25 million this year. And he wants a new deal. The Jets made it very clear to him when they got him. Look, man, we're not ripping up your deal. We're not ripping it up, blowing it up, giving you more. We work a few things as far as incentives. You can make some more money, but we're not giving you a $30 million a year deal. And that's kind of what he's holding out for, right? And this is an interesting one. Should they? But it's getting lost because Aaron Rodgers is. And again, the reason it's unexcused and they can say they're on the same page is. You know what, dude? Go to your ayahuasca retreat or your darkness retreat or whatever it is, man. Go to Wimbledon. What's going on in the world right now? Is there something going on? Go to the French Open that just ended.
U.S. Open?
Go to the U.S. Open. Maybe. I don't know, man. Go do whatever it is you're doing. We cannot call that excuse. We're going to have to fine you for it because if we call it excuse, we set a precedent that we got to do for everybody else, and it is going to come out where he was, right? Aaron's on social media. Aaron's going to put it out very calculatedly. Is that a word? The way he puts it out. And you're going to go, really? And then there's going to be that whole JG, everything you said is right in regards to creating the off-field BS. Because it's going to come out and it's going to be judged. I don't know what it is. Okay? I have no idea. I don't know if it's a family event, a religious event, I have no idea. Maybe he's taking the last flight of Virgin Atlantic to outer space. I don't know. But some people are going to say, oh, no, I get it. That's totally, yeah, you had to do that. And the other people are going to go, dude, there's no way. That's more important than winning. That's more important than your football team. Like this is going to take a whole nother level as soon as it comes out when we all know what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's that guy. He's Brett Favre. Remember when we thought it was Favre all the time? I mean, and then there's this, and I mean, he's beyond that, huh? I mean, how many off
that's
season?
Not a dude you want to be.
No, but how much? Fine, but I mean, off-season talk all the time.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean. That's not who you want to be compared to.
Don't you
think
that's who he is? He loves this stuff.
I'm sure there's an element to it. Like when you're Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys that he's tries to be the smartest guy in the room.
100%. Is convinced he is.
And it's like if you dare question it, then you're just blind sheep. And so this stuff is a part of everything that Aaron Rodgers is now.
I want to make sure I understand. So he's the one who said we got to get rid of all this BS. It's not about winning, all this other stuff. It's not about football, and we got to get rid of it. And in this offseason, we've talked about him not just missing training camp and unexcused, and we'll find out what it is. The other big story about him was considering being the vice presidential candidate on RFK Jr.'s ticket, right?
And this is it. Like, you understand in sport, and you're a star player with whatever maybe things are going on, you're going to have to deal with things at press conferences. There's going to be stuff out there. But if you're really trying to take that approach, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're trying to clean things up and you weren't pleased with all the leaks last year in the news, wouldn't it seem like you'd want to be in more control of a story like this? You don't have to tell people where you are. But with the team of just like, hey, this is the one that you get fined for missing. We're all on the same page. I'm not going to be there. See you in 3 weeks.
Let's be very clear. He's not dealing. Aaron Rodgers do whatever he's doing. And if it's important to him, I mean, look, we all have stuff that's important to us, so we got to miss an event. We got to miss work. Right? I got stuff coming up this summer. It's important to me. I'm going to miss it. But, you know, we get time off. It's not interfering with. And whatever it's going to be, we're going to have this conversation. Everybody's going to lose their mind from now. Or lose their mind on, you know, oh, I understand why I did it. Or no, there's no way. Fine. It's great fodder for everybody to talk about. You're not talking about Caitlin Clark for a minute, right? But he's not dealing with this mess. He's out doing whatever it is he's doing, man. I don't know if he's in Europe or if he's in New York City. I don't know. But he's not dealing with it. Robert Saleh just got to go, really, man? I'm trying to run a camp and put a team together to win a Super Bowl, and all anybody wants to talk to me about is my 40-year-old quarterback who played four snaps last year. Rodgers didn't deal with it. But he loves being the center of it, man. He does. 505-246-0610. Come on in on that. Meanwhile, the guy replaced him in Green Bay. Should that guy be getting a contract extension? Should it be done by now? I want to get into that because Jordan Love's pretty damn good. When does that come, and what kind of money will that be? That's coming up next. International Protective Service continues to do amazing things. They heard you when you asked for their help to protect businesses and homeowners in Santa Fe. They get a lot of calls up there for service. And if you live in the Santa Fe area and you're concerned about threats to your property, I'm going to give you the number to call IPS here in a moment. In Albuquerque, police response is still hours, especially for home and business break-ins. And in most cases, IPS shows up within 7 minutes or less. IPS installs alarms and camera systems. They monitor those cameras 24/7. It raises the level of security around your home and your business. I know you've noticed IPS officers at local retail outlets, Targets, Walmarts. They're making a huge difference for them, and they can help you too. They've helped me for years, give my family a sense of security. My neighbors now use IPS. Look, your home's supposed to be a place of security. If someone breaks in, it's devastating, and you don't know what's going to happen. So let IPS keep eyes on your home or business around the clock. Here's the phone number, 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com.
So you got your ranking, your quarterbacks, and your who's where, who's top, who's bottom, who's middle, who's all right, whatever. Where's Jordan Love? Former Utah State quarterback, former player of the game, I believe then Gildan, New Mexico Bowl. Now the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. What's he worth? Where should he be slotted? He's up for a new deal. He's probably going to get it. He says that he believes that they're close. That's what I've heard, is what he said when asked about, are they close? Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. So Packers general manager is Brian Gutekunst. And last week he said that both sides are motivated, J.J., to get Jordan Love's contract extension completed by training camp, which is next month. Love said, it's what I've heard. Now, he signed an extension last May that included an almost $8.8 million signing bonus. So his average is $13.5 million a year. Average. I mean, that's stealing. Where should he be, right? I mean, the Lions they gave Jared Goff $53 million a year. Is that a template? I don't know if he's Jared Goff. He's going to be in the $45 to $50 million a year range, is he not, Jordan Love?
Yes, he is.
Are you nervous about Jordan Love at all?
I'm not nervous. For Green Bay, this is, he's going to get paid, but if you get it done now and he has another fantastic year, or another top 10-ish year, because top 10 is really good, the depth of quarterback play right now in the National Football League, it's just going to get more expensive. And the Packers, they're a pretty good team when it comes to managing the cap, paying players, drafting and develop players. And if you look at what they're doing right now with Jordan Love, kind of lock him in long term, get him happy, it's a perfect time because they do not have a wide receiver on their roster that is making over 1% of the cap. Their highest paid wide receiver is Christian Watson on a rookie deal at $2.5 million. So they're in a fantastic position.
They got Reed and Dobbs also there as well.
All those guys are on rookie deals.
Yeah.
To make sure they lock in Jordan Love, still have all those young skill position players. None of those guys are going to break the bank either. And they're still a few years away, a couple of them, from even talking about contract extensions. That's why they're able to pay up a little bit more to invest in Josh Jacobs. This is perfect timing for the Packers.
I think you're right, and I think I would do it as well. Here's my only, and I've told you this before, my only hesitation on this is we're going kind of off a 7-game sample. And so the downside of having a quarterback sit for a couple years, you don't have those 2-3 years to evaluate before you got to decide whether or not you're going to extend. You have kind of one. And in this case, you're basing everything on the back end of last season, the last 7 games. You gave me stats the other day.
It's the most important part of the season.
I agree with you. And he got better, and he was impressive.
He was number one in the league in yards, touchdowns, won a playoff game.
Oh, that's right.
Dude, we don't give rookie quarterbacks 3 years, let alone 1 year, and people are out.
I like him, and I think everything you said is right, and I think I would go this way. But I would do it with just a little bit of queasiness in my stomach, basing everything on basically what I saw in 7 games in the playoffs. And he was really good now. And my guess is, and I'm talking to all my football people, did he just figure it out? Did he finally get to play and figure out the speed of the game and get to go? Here's what he did last year. Over 4,100 yards, 32 touchdowns. They went to the divisional round of the playoffs. Now, they couldn't do a deal right after last season because league rules do not allow a second extension from being done within 12 months, and that was done last May. But he's now in line to become, I mean, is he next in line? Are we looking in that $53 million range? I imagine. And if you're a Packer fan, I got to believe you're good with it. And did they hit again? Is he your guy for a decade? Are you going to go 3.5, 4 decades with 3 quarterbacks? You're the Pittsburgh Steelers of quarterbacks, right? The way they are with coaches, you are with quarterbacks. The Cleveland Browns are going, damn, we can't get either one right. Right? But I think that's where this is going. I think he gets paid. And I think it's the right thing. As much as I've got a little bit of hesitation on it, and I like him a lot, man, I'm basing everything on a 7-game sample size. And I'm a little worried about it. All right.
No, you're basing things on you've been around this guy for how many years?
No, I like him a lot. I like
so you understand the way he practices. Yeah. Matt LaFleur trusts him.
Yep.
Leadership, all that stuff.
All that's right.
And what did he do on the road in 2 playoff games?
Won one and should have won the other. Damn near won the other. Yeah.
That is a lot more than we give a lot of quarterbacks in this league the opportunity to do.
I think you're right. All right, that's going to happen, and it'll probably happen pretty soon. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. A little traded Major League Baseball involving the Dodgers. And boy, oh boy, did you watch Paul Skeens last night? If you've not seen Paul Skeens yet, find Paul Skeens next time he plays because he's amazing. Who he is, what he did, and what the Dodgers just did. Get a little better. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. An AM 610, or maybe they get away. Let's see. AM, where are we? 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
this is breaking this morning. It's kind of hit the X, different reporters over the last, 10 minutes or so. The logo has passed away. Hall of Fame basketball player Jerry West died this morning. He was 86 years old. He was at his home. His wife, Karen, was with him. And Jerry West is gone. JJ, none of us are, we remember Jerry West. We've seen the highlights and everything about Jerry West was hard not to love. There's been a push lately. And I'm a big Kobe fan. I love Kobe. They want to make Kobe the logo. And I'm like, find another thing to honor Kobe with. Like, with all due respect, you got a logo. It was after Jerry West years ago. What do we just, you expired? You think there's someone better? You think no, you honored one of the legends of the game. And you have a great logo. You have a logo that's recognized. Jerry West is a logo. And as much as I think Kobe's wonderful and terrific and should be honored in some way, can we please leave the logo alone and let Jerry West rest in peace and leave the damn logo alone?
I believe that's fine.
Do we need it? Like when you put somebody's name on something or honor, like, does that expire? Like look at all these basketball courts. There's Bob King Court. Let's say Richard Pitino's here for 20 years and wins the national championship. Bob King, never mind Bob King, it's Richard Pitino Court, right? I mean, you put somebody's name, you honor someone with something like that. There shouldn't be a sunset on that, should there? There shouldn't be an expiration, right?
No, the only time there's an expiration if something really bad happens,
which never happened. I just that's one. What?
Seen some statues taken down, but
yeah, but in this situation, yeah.
No, he's the logo. He should remain the logo. It's iconic.
And
classic.
His story, it is iconic and classic, and his story is pretty amazing. Out of West Virginia and the way he came up and his career and what he did as an executive, and it's kind of crazy. But just breaking this morning, one of the greatest ever, and Laker fans certainly. There's always an argument: who is the greatest of the Lakers? I saw this the other day, and I mean it's like, who's the greatest Yankee, right? Is it West? Is it Chamberlain? Is it Kareem? Is it Magic? Is it Kobe? I saw LeBron throw him in there. I don't even think that's part of the conversation.
No, LeBron is never going to crack that.
Right?
Even if he won like 4 straight championships in LA, he's never going to crack one of the greatest Lakers of all time, because the list you just named, I don't even think you can say greatest. You almost say, what's the best starting 5? Because how do you put Kareem over West, or where's Magic Johnson,
who's your center?
Kobe, and
who's
then Shaq's run?
Who's your center? Is it Shaq, Kareem, or Wilt? Right? I mean, you got Magic and Kobe, but but those are the 5 guys, right? And Jerry West. I mean, you
have
guys.
So many other great players on the fringes,
right? But I mean, the greatest,
the ones that stand out is what you just named.
Give me, and maybe it would be generational. I'm going to give you 6, and one of them's not LeBron. Who's the greatest Laker? Who's Mr. Like if of all time? Who? And that means impact, championship, numbers, everything. Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Kobe or Shaq. I mean, I don't even know if there's a wrong answer. And it would be, how old are you and when did you grow up? I think Magic kind of comes to the top. I think.
And then what he was able to do post playing as an executive was fantastic.
You know what else, dude? And this hit me when I was a young broadcaster. This was either 91 or 92. JJ, when he stepped away from the game because he contracted HIV.
Oh, Magic?
Yeah. Were you talking about Jerry West?
I was in that statement.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Magic Johnson is not great away from basketball. Yeah. In terms of a basketball general manager,
business
office person. Yes, businessman, different story.
If you'd have said to any of us in 91, 92, whatever, when he, I think it was 90, when he stepped away from the game, that in 2024, 33 years later, Magic would still be around and at the game. Like, it was a death sentence. In 1991, when he came out with HIV, AIDS was a death sentence. Like, holy bleep. Like, Karl Malone didn't want to play near him. Didn't want to get sweated on, right? Because that's what it was, in large respects, like the pandemic. So much of the unknown, right? You just didn't know. The fact that he's still here and seemingly healthy, and it shows how far medicine has come. That was a death sentence, dude. In 91, when he stepped away, it was one of the most shocking things. It was, for those of us who, grew up with the Lakers, but remember that? It's online. That press conference is on that same level with the OJ chase. Obviously different circumstances, but just like where you were and how you reacted when you saw it. I mean, if some of you, and I know you are, of that age, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but that whole Magic thing. But Jerry West passed away. He's the logo. And JJ, to your point, he was a great executive. He pulled out the Pau Gasol trade, right? Or he was on the other side of it. He was with Memphis, wasn't he? He was on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doing the Lakers a solid.
Getting them a few more champions. I love your thoughts.
But he was also executive of the year for the Memphis Grizzlies. Before you're like, before
why you think that?
The grindhouse. He helped Memphis become something.
Why you think that? All right, 505-246-0610. Does this mean we don't get the 4th of July? I mean, like, do they cancel the holiday now? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. That's next.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
can sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consultant.
It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Bond.
Well, breaking news this morning, and it's a sad one. Jerry West passed away today, 86 years old. The logo, and one of the great, JJ, I'm looking back at some of the stuff he did, and it's so easy to just get lost in stuff that we didn't see, right? And not appreciate how great someone was. And you watch old highlights and you see dudes play, and then you see a gentleman when he's older, and you're like, how good could that guy have been? And Jerry West was unbelievable. He was part of the Laker team in '72 that won the NBA championship, so he is an NBA champ. JJ, he was the NBA Finals MVP in '69 when they lost. They lost to the Celtics in '69, and he averaged 37.9 points a game. Wilt Chamberlain was on his team. They lost the final game 108-106 in '69. They lost by 2 points. He scored 42. Wilt had 27 rebounds in that game, by the way, and they still lost. He scored 53 in the first game. He scored 40 in game 4. He scored 39 in game 5. He scored 42 in game 7. He was the MVP when they lost. That's how good he was. 14-time All-Star MVP, 10-time All-First Team NBA. Scoring champ in 70, assist leader in 72. NBA All-Anniversary Team, 35th year, 50th year, and 75th. His number was retired. He was the NCAA Final Four most outstanding player at West Virginia in 1959. 2-time consensus All-American. I mean, it goes on and on and on. He even got the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2019. I asked, who's the greatest Laker? It's the text line says you got to throw George Mikan in there if you'd like. I gave you 6. If that George Mikan would be 7. Is it Jerry West? Is it Wilt? Is it Kareem? Is it Magic? Is it Shaq? Is it Kobe? And I mean, argue away forever. And maybe it'll be generational. But one thing I know, and I want to go, if you were there, come on back. 2460610, 505-2460610. One thing I am really convicted of. We don't need to change the logo. And I know there's a push, and this is one of those generational things. This is where I say we get lost in stuff we didn't see. You're like, well, how good could Jerry West have been? Look, if you never saw him play, you see old highlights, grainy highlights. And then you see a gentleman when he's in his 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You're like, he couldn't have been nearly as good. Dude, he was unbelievable. Honor Kobe in another way. Honor Kobe however you like, but do not change the logo. You have a logo. You have an iconic logo. You have an iconic logo that represented a gentleman who was a star in your league, one of the best you've ever seen. Oh, and by the way, did everything seemingly the right way, was a gentleman, a steward of the game, and I mean, there's no reason to change the logo. And this isn't one of those, well, Jeff, you're just hating on. No.
I don't think that push has been that big at all. I think it's more of a.
I saw it on social media like 3 days ago.
Yeah, I think it's more of a fill a talking point thing, as opposed to the NBA or anyone actually making that push.
Yeah, I think it would just be so disrespectful, and just so blind to the past. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm a big Kobe fan. I love Kobe as much as most of you.
It's a little, but it was a step. Like the All-Star Game trophy,
yes,
is the Kobe Bryant Award.
Yeah, and that's something.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
because they've named all the other awards.
That's right. You can't change. I mean, are you going to change the Larry O?
It's your same thing. Like you're not. So you're trying to honor guys where you can without
dishonoring.
Dishonoring others that hold all those places.
And that's what happens, man. So it's the Bill Russell Finals MVP award, right? It's named after Bill Russell. Should it be named after LeBron because he's won it a bunch of times?
Finals MVPs Bill Russell, Eastern Conference Finals MVPs Larry Bird, West is Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Yeah. You know, and that's how it is. You're not taking this away. Don't take away the logo. Kobe got the All-Star MVP, and I think that's great. Who's the regular season MVP trophy? Is that named after anybody?
Michael Jordan.
Okay, sounds about right, doesn't it? It sounds fair.
And I think a lot of people don't know this because they did this in 2022.
I did not know.
So they did the Kobe Bryant one back in 2020, but a lot of the other awards, like Rookie of the Year, was renamed after Wilt Chamberlain in 2022. The Most Valuable Player trophy was originally named after Maurice Podoloff.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Dropped that in 2021 and put Jordan on it in 2022. Like Red Auerbach is a Coach of the Year award.
Fair.
So.
Look, you honor these guys. You don't honor them with a sunset. You honor them to remember them forever, right? And your logo is your logo.
Most Improved Player of the Year award is named after George Mikan.
Okay,
there you go.
You know, at some point you're not going to get your name on an award. That's how it is. All right, 505-246-06. Did they cancel the 4th of July yesterday? Are we allowed? Are we having a 4th of July? Are there going to be fireworks and days off in America? And because I don't know, there's some of you who've never had a 4th of July without Joey Chestnut. Are we allowed to have 4th of July? I mean, I say that tongue in cheek, not hot dog. 16-time champion, Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest, will not compete at Coney Island. I've seen it where he's been banned. I don't believe that he's been banned. He made a decision to endorse a competing hot dog. And I guess that is part of the contingency to compete in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. That you cannot do that. So a spokesperson for Major League Eating, that is a real thing, MLE, said that Chestnut chose to represent another hot dog brand. It's a vegan brand. And therefore will not be permitted to participate in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. You can't name me one other. Kobayashi's not around anymore. You can't name me one other person.
It doesn't matter.
Will you watch it now?
No, but I will watch the live stream of Joey Chestnut smashing Impossible hot dogs because he needs to stand up against this outrageous monopoly that Nathan's is trying to have on hot dogs. And I stand with Joey Chestnut.
So, first of all, is Joey Chestnut doing a competing event? Is that really going to happen?
I think he should now.
100%.
Impossible should be all over it.
Joey said, is that who it is? It's Impossible? That's his brand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He said he's gutted to find out that he won't be able to compete. Quote, I love competing in that event. I love celebrating America with my fans all over this great country on the 4th, and I've been training to defend my title. Sadly, this is the decision Nathan's and Major League Eating are making, and it will deprive the great fans of the holiday's usual joy and entertainment. End quote. Impossible Foods told ESPN that they support Joey in any contest he chooses. So Impossible would have let him go do it. So what does it matter? If he wasn't wearing any Impossible Foods gear, what would it matter to them?
Tony, you got to stand up against.
Does it sound like they're cutting off their nose to spite their
the monopoly?
He was happy to go eat their hot dogs.
He
would wear their uniform, right? Because that's the uniform you got to eat. I don't think he'd be wearing an Impossible. Maybe he would be wearing an Impossible hat, but they could tell him, "Look, you can't do that. Nathan's is sponsoring this event. You can't do it." I think they could. Wow. The way I'm hearing it is the event's a little too rigid on their rules. But MLE is we can't have someone who endorses another product. I'm trying to think of I imagine it would be like someone who was participating in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl who endorsed Lucky Charms or something, right?
Well, it's like anything. If you're a team, aren't there that
all the
uses
all the time
Gatorade?
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, you have to put your Gatorade in a Powerade cup here.
Yeah, no, that happens
all the time.
What about Major League players where they have to wear Nike uniforms for wearing New Balance shoes or Adidas shoes or whatever they are? What was I just watching the other day?
It's any uniform.
Yeah.
Like his shoes are different.
I was just watching. It's Otani's got his New Balance arm gear and his shoes or whatever it is. They've all got their stuff. You're always going to have conflicting sponsorships. It feels like, doesn't it? Like you're going to have a guy playing the Capitol.
Boycott Nathan's. Starting right now.
What if college football playoff presented by Dr. Pepper, and the Michigan quarterback's in it, and he endorses the Impossible Soda?
One play.
What's that soda that they tell you is good for you now? There's one out there.
I just drink sugar-free soda.
Whatever, right? I mean, that's kind of the same thing, is it not? It feels to me like Major League Eating should say, "Look, man, you cannot wear any of that stuff here. This is a Nathan's event." Wow. Okay.
It's outrageous.
Who do you side with here?
Oh, Joey Chestnut.
Major League Eating, quote, Joey Chestnut is an American hero. We would love nothing more than to have him at the Nathan's famous international hot dog eating contest, which he has dominated for years. We hope that he returns when he is not representing a rival.
How ridiculous is that?
So,
like you can say, like, all right, you can't have your Impossible branding.
Yes.
Right? Like we just explained all that, but they're like, no, how dare you actually have an endorsement deal with someone else? You're axed. That's ridiculous.
I'm going to give you a better example. Give me a golf tournament. Pick one. Charles Schwab. Don't dudes have all over their shirts and hats at the Charles Schwab some other financial company? One of the Charles Schwab's competitors? Or the John Deere? Who's John Deere's competitor? But isn't somebody wearing a competitor? Wells Fargo, I promise you, the Wells Fargo. Somebody's got Bank of America or RBC or another bank. Is that a better comp for you?
It makes sense. And the way we've discussed it, other areas too, is that like that's your sponsor, but in this setting you can't do that based on our agreements. Okay, move on.
I don't know.
But they're just straight up saying you cannot compete. Like you dare, have an endorsement with a non-Nathan's product.
Yeah,
we're not even gonna let you compete. Not just I understand not showing a logo, and yet we're trying to make this an American event.
We've made it an American event. Yeah, boy, is this America
now? Yeah,
I mean it's just America.
It's cancel culture.
Yeah, is this America? I don't know NASCAR well enough, but they still have the Coca-Cola 500. Is there a Pepsi car out there? Is there a car sponsored by Pepsi? No, like honestly, what's the difference? What are we doing?
Nathan's putting their foot down.
Free Joey. And I'm okay if you're going to tell me everybody's got to wear this uniform. It's got to be the Nathan's uniform. You cannot wear your Impossible. I don't want to see a hat. You will be, sign right here. You will be fined X number of dollars if you do that. Because he'll be wearing a shirt underneath. It'll pull it up and show his Impossible and whatever. I mean, I get they're trying to protect their sponsorship. Nathan's is. And by the way, do you think Nathan's is selling more or less hot dogs by doing this? Less.
Same.
I think they're pissing people off.
Do you think there's going to be that big of a...
Let me ask you something.
I was just joking, but do you think people are going to not buy Nathan's hot dogs?
All right, so if you're going out buying hot dogs, I'm going to guess the majority of people didn't even know what the hell an Impossible hot dog was until this came out. Have you seen a Joey Chestnut commercial? Have you seen an endorsement?
I don't think people are going to... The people that are buying hot dogs are not switching from hot dogs to plant-based hot dogs.
I don't know, man. Joey's trying it. Maybe I'll try it. I never heard of it, but I'll try it. Joey's doing it. And they're not letting Joey go. I'll try it. I'm not buying Nathan's this time. I don't know. They canceled the 4th of July. It's just unbelievable. 505-246-0610. All the great Lakers, Jeffy. Bob, I'll read these to you. Who's the best one ever? Jerry West passed away this morning. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
As all the great Lakers, Jeffy, is West still the best ever to wear forum gold? Some people's mind he is. Yeah, this is one of those, and this isn't the first time anybody's ever asked the question, who's the best Laker? Who's the greatest Laker? But man, it's a hell of a conversation. Magic is I think Magic kind of comes to the top. Greatest Laker, according to this one. Number 1, Magic. 1A, Kobe. Then maybe Jerry at West. Best center, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with all due respect to Wilt and Shaq. I mean, dude, Wilt, when you look at Wilt's numbers, and we didn't get to see Wilt play, right? I mean, and everybody's, oh, well, he was playing against children, and he was playing against Wilt. I don't care, man. Some of the numbers, when you look at Wilt numbers, there's like NBA numbers and then there's Wilt numbers. They're just different. They're just totally different. This one is on the Joey Chestnut. It says, I don't think it's about Impossible being a competitor. It's that their brand stands for anti-hot dog. He signed with Ballpark Franks or another legitimate hot dog company. I don't think they care, but the Impossible brand is about customers that don't like meat, not the taste of meat, the idea of meat. I would expect the same treatment from a bull rider who signed a deal with PETA or a golfer who signed a deal with an anti-grass organization. All right. 505-246-0610. Robert, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Robert.
Hey, good morning. As far as the Lakers' best players of all time, it would be, in my opinion, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and I think Jerry West would be number 3. Regarding the hot dogs, I just tuned in. I'm not sure what you were talking about on the Nathan hot dogs. Can you fill me in on that?
Yeah, Joey Chestnut is not permitted to be in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July. He's won, 16 of the last 17, because he endorses a rival hot dog brand, Impossible Hot Dogs, and so they're not letting him compete in the Nathan's unless he, JJ, denounces his representation or whatever of Impossible.
Oh, yeah, I understand. Yeah, Nathan's, in my opinion, Nathan are the best, but yeah, that's kind of dirty. They're not doing him right. Hey, you guys have a great day. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Robert. See you. All right, is Nathan's a major? Jeff, it seems like it should be like golf. Both PJ and LIV players should be allowed to compete in the majors. It does.
I agree.
It's the only major, man. Give me one other eating contest. I know there's a whole league, and I know they do like burritos and Jell-O and eggs. And
this is the only one.
It's the only one.
The only one.
Is there I've never gone to the MLE site, and I guess it's all right there. But can you watch the events every week? Is it like LIV? I can just go there and catch MLE.
It's on the CW. That's why you don't see it.
And I don't get it. Gopher said Chestnut Impossible Hot Dogs equals LIV. Jeff, this reminds me of the top golfers moving from PJ to LIV. Will you start to make excuses on why you're not watching the Impossible Eating? No, dude, I can barely stomach watching one Impossible Eating. Am I making excuses? I literally don't get the CW. I went to watch it the other day. DirecTV and whatever's going on here, it's been I didn't realize I didn't get it until I went to try. It's going to piss me off when I can't watch some football this fall too. I have to go over to Audrey's and she gets everything. Actually, we got the Pac-12 network. But yeah, that's where my sports watching is going. Jeremy said last week it was Stigayashi and now it's Chestnut. That's why it's important to develop the next generation of stars. Jeremy. I get you. So are they going to start their own league, like the Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi, and take it over and take it over to the CW and start like what is this Major League Eating? They'll call it. They'll come up with a Roman numeral for however many hot dogs Joey Chestnut Crush. Are you looking at the MLE site? Oh, I was hoping you were. All right. Ice Soaps got beat again last night, right? Boy, it's big time. Rod says, where's the season gone, Jefferson? After Armando, they're playing El Paso now. There are only 6 more home series in 2024. Summer's almost over. Time to pack your bags for Vegas. No, I know, dude.
So you go to MajorLeagueEating.com.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut is on the homepage.
Because they have nobody else to promote, right?
Wearing the Nathan's shirt, holding the championship belt.
Well, that's unbelievable. But yeah, he can't compete.
Oh, we got the Strawberry Shortcake Eating Championship coming up.
Dude, have you looked at some of the events?
I'm down for that. So some qualifiers you can still get into.
Anything close?
Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Yeah. All these qualifiers. How about the Donut Hole Eating Championship? This one sounds even more disgusting than hot dogs, dude. The 2024 Ultimate Bologna Showdown, presented by Dead End Barbecue and Elma Hill Bologna.
Presented by Your Dead.
Oh. You know, you have like sweet corn eating contest.
Ooh, this.
Yes, we're looking at the same damn thing. 2024 inaugural eating Uranus Fudge Galactic Championship. Everything that okay, you can have fudge. Uranus Fudge?
It's that good.
It's in St. Robert, Missouri. If you want to go, head on out there. Yeah, it already happened. It was March 30th, 2020. And the prize is total prize $5,000. JJ, you know you have like events in your life where like I haven't eaten bologna since I was probably I'm going to guess 14.
The time I tried to eat a 1 pound hamburger in an hour.
Yeah, I remember that. Was it 1 pound?
Well, the burger was a pound, and then they were like, "Oh, here's half a pound of French fries or whatever it was."
We went out to Fuddruckers. What was the deal? Like, if you eat it, you get a T-shirt.
I don't even remember.
It was a Fuddruckers.
And then they had the giant bun, and you get to that point, and that's what killed me.
You got to eat that.
Ate
too.
Potatoes, ate more beef than everyone eat ever. Yeah, and then the bun was there, and I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm done.
I lose. I tapped out." It was when I played. This was 14 years old. Fantasy. It was Pop Warner football, playing for the Woodland Hills Cowboys. It was that team Torrey Lavello was. And a guy named Mark Mitchell used to come into the huddle and practice, and he would always have a bologna sandwich. And you're in a huddle, and he would burp and blow that bologna burp smell around there. And I haven't eaten bologna since. It was the most disgusting, foul thing ever. Wing eating championships, pistachio eating championships, bagel eating championships, shrimp cocktail. Which one would you go into? Like if you had to do one, cheesesteak egg roll bowl, tamale eating championship. These are all real. So, okay, if you go into Padrino Tamales and you're sponsored by El Modelo around here, did you compete in the Padrino Tamale contest in Louisville, Texas? Or would they not let you? Because you're a competing tamale sponsor. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 5 pound
shortcake one sounds pretty good.
All right, I'm down. What are sloppers? You know what a slopper is? That's in Colorado, in Pueblo. The World Slopper Eating Championship. They have another hot dog thing. This is fabulous. Ooh. 3 events: donuts, cheese slices, and pork and egg noodles. It's the Thailand Food Kingdom Day. I'm getting sick. Hey, I hope you're enjoying your breakfast. 505-246-0610. No Joey Chestnut, which means they just flat out canceled your 4th of July. When we come back, will Kristaps Porzingis play today? What?
Sorry, I'm just reading some of these records. 53 soft beef tacos from Taco Bell in 10 minutes. Joey Chestnut did that.
From Taco Bell?
From Taco Bell, of all things.
All right.
1 gallon and 9 ounces of ice cream in 12 minutes. And your body.
All right, so it almost feels like you can get that down because it's ice cream.
It has to come out.
Yeah. Probably the same way it went down, too. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 630 Sports Channel.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke, meet my fan.
Ask you the question, it's not the first time anybody's ever had this conversation, but the greatest Laker of all time? And I don't know that there's an answer. I gave you West and Chamberlain, Kareem, Magic, Shaq, Kobe. Somebody threw in George Mikan. Nobody threw in LeBron. Well, there's a right answer. It's a good conversation. You're welcome to get in at 505-246-0610. Also been talking about Joey Chestnut. They canceled 4th of July because he's not allowed to be in the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest, of which he's won 16 of the last 17, because he is endorsing a rival hot dog, a Impossible hot dog. Jason says, I think Nathan's was going to give him a 4-year, $1.2 million contract, so they're probably salty. LOL, Hebrew Nationals are the best anyways. By the way, Hebrew Nationals. Like, if you're going to eat a hot dog, it's pretty good. Adrian says, I'd have gotten a sponsor for Viagra and OnlyFans if I was Joey Chestnut instead. Okay. I guess they could endorse whatever they want. JJ, I haven't looked close enough. Are they wearing headbands? Are any of these people out there endorsing something else? Or they got to wear the Nathan's little shirt, right, with their number on it? I don't know that anybody else is out there endorsing Tito's Tacos or Chico's Bail Bonds or something along those. Are they? I don't think so. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I've never. Jeff, exactly how many hot dogs did Joey Chestnut consume anyway? 30, 40? Man, he should be allowed to be there and participate in the hot dog eating contest. What a ridiculous rule from John in the Duke City. I think the number was 74, wasn't it? In 10 minutes? Something just insane like that. That list you read is accurate. That's I'm going to guess in regards to the greatest Laker of all time. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. You're in on some other stuff as well. Ron says 24 hours from now, Jeffy Lube, all ODIs will definitely be on LT Gray. Ron, it's a lot easier to say Kristaps has a ligament damage. I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on this show, but it sure doesn't sound like something you recover from in 48 hours. Yeah, Kristaps Porzingis questionable for Game 3 tonight of the NBA Finals. He has a torn medial retinaculum, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon in his left leg. Rare disease, Jake. Very, very, very rare. Say the doctor. Very rare. HB, well, that sucked. Even though Albuquerque's baseball team lost 5-6 to Sacramento, Jeff, it looked like they'd found something defensively in Northern California. Back home against the Chihuahuas in the defensive rules. Back, what was the score last? You know? Yeah, pumped last night again. They've lost 11 of their last 13. Have your Albuquerque Ice Tigers. Yesterday we were talking about betting and some of the issues that players were having. And Bob Nightingale wrote a big story about this. Evidently, police were sent to protect one of the 8 teams who competed in last year's College World Series after a threat from a gambler. CBS is just reporting this. JJ, you put the story in here, and I had not seen this. They didn't identify which team it was. There were 8 teams in the World Series. But Charlie Baker, who's the NCAA president, highlights ongoing concerns with gambling. This is exactly what we were talking about yesterday. Quote from Charlie Baker, the NCAA president. There was a bettor who threatened the team. The threat was serious enough that we showed it to authorities. You know what? We think we should probably hang out with you guys for the rest of the tournament, is what they said. End quote. So somebody evidently bet on one of the college baseball teams. They got beat. Bettor got in too deep and made threat to team. JJ, at some point, and I hate being this guy and I hate saying this, but I mean, I know the world in which we live. Something horrible is going to happen at some point, isn't it? And I don't know how we're going to reel this in. And you know, people are going to be right. They're going to say it's not because of betting. It's individuals who commit these crimes. It's the whole, the guns kill people or the people kill people. I'm not getting into the politics of this. But at some point, something's going to happen.
Yeah, and looking at these stories, and when you look at kind of what happened, like Shohei is an interpreter. That was an off the books bookie. What they weren't going through like DraftKings or FanDuel. But the other stuff that's come out, it's the regulation has helped find these things out. So it's easy to say, oh, now that it's legal in a lot more places, bad things are going to happen, but they're also able to regulate it more. And I think these bad actors are there regardless. Because if you go this far, if you're one of those people that's like threatening over bets, it's not just because all of a sudden, oh, it's legal and I'm pulling up the FanDuel app.
I think what we're also finding out is the addiction is insane. Right? When you hear that Ipe got, what was it, $14.3 million that he stole or something like that? Allegedly? Not even allegedly. He pleaded guilty, right? I mean, how are you making, I don't, what was Ipe making, like $250,000 a year? Something along those lines, right? How you get that deep is insane. And the addiction that's there, and I know that there's a lot of places and gambling hotlines, and you get in too deep, and I mean, we all enjoy laying a shekel or two, right? But you can see, and you know that guy who loses his mind, who's betting on everything. You know him. What's a breaking point on someone? And what the NCAA is saying is there's some dude who evidently had a breaking point and was threatening a college baseball team in Omaha to the point where they had to find the police to protect this team and follow that team around and make sure that these threats were not carried through. You got a Major League Baseball player saying, I'm coming off the field, and people are saying, we're going to kill your family because they lost a game and a guy lost a bet somewhere. You guys, I don't like, I'm not telling you we got to stop legalizing gambling, because we're at a point now where you can't, and people are going to find their way to get their fix anyway. But why are we supposed to think at some point somebody's not going to follow through on one of these threats? I hate being that guy. And I don't even know what I think the answer is. You know what I mean? Like, normally you say, well, why don't we do this or this or this? And then there's issues like this where JJ, I don't even know what I think the answer is.
Yeah, it's one you'll ban it, go back to the way it was. Well, people like this are still going to be
100%
gambling.
That's right. That's right. And the illegal books are going to jump up everywhere because people have seen how profitable they are. Not that they didn't know before. Kind of scary. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610 for whatever reason. You're still paying a fine. We can get you, we'll take care of that. Joe Burrow's excited for the season. He's coming back from an injury too. He's the quarterback that's at training camp. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
The logo, 86 years old. It's opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. So talked a lot about the quarterback who's not at these mini camps. That's Aaron Rodgers. Joe Burrow is there, and he's excited about the challenge of coming back from this wrist injury, which ended his season last year. Quote from Joe Burrow: "Whenever the injuries start to stack up, your football mortality kind of comes back into your mind. So that's definitely something I've thought about and something I have to fight through," end quote. So he said he's changing his mindset, JJ. He's taking pride in pushing through injuries, playing through pain, cited the strained calf that he had that started last training camp as the catalyst for the whole shift in mentality. And then he suffered the injury on the second day of camp. He returned 5 weeks later, started the regular season, aggravated the injury, and then he's done. I hate the injury prone label. Is he on the cusp of that? I mean, we still think he's one of the top pick your number quarterbacks in the NFL. This is a big year for him, is it not? Stay healthy to fight through it, and obviously what he's dealing with above the shoulder.
Well, the answer to that question is yes, he's an injury-prone quarterback. The ACL injury as a rookie. Played 10 games. Played 10 games last year. Now, very good when he's on the field is 2021-2022 seasons. You win 22 games, Cincinnati Bengals make a Super Bowl appearance. And I don't... Like, yeah, it's you know, to your point, it's like when you say some of these things, like it's a big year for everyone, but there's not added pressure on Joe Burrow. Like, he just signed a $275 million contract extension. So he's good. He's locked in.
Well, he's made his money.
Yeah, nothing's happening for Burrow and the Bengals for a while.
Yeah, I hate the label, you know, saying someone is injury prone. Like you know, Kenny was talking the other day about Kristaps Porzingis. Well, he's injured all the time. Yeah, there's guys that you look at and you say, yeah, dude, they feel like they're always hurt. It feels like that, and I don't know if Joe Burrow is that guy yet. All right, hit us on the phones at 505-246-0610. Love to talk to you. On Aaron Rodgers, I'm Jerry West. Who's the greatest Laker? Jerry West passes away today. Is he the greatest Laker? Is it Wilt, Kareem, Shaq, Kobe, Magic? Just when you're running around and you just go by one name, you're pretty damn good. I mean, LeBron's my one-name guy, but he's not one of the greatest Lakers. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously?
You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts.
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprise.
And JJ Bond.
Boy, Paul Skeens was good last night. I don't know if you know who Paul Skeens is, but you should. Paul Skeens is the rookie star pitcher, the Pittsburgh Pirates. JJ, you agree St. Louis is one of the best baseball towns with the most knowledgeable baseball fans? I think we do, right? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Paul Skeens was pitching for the opponents last night, Pittsburgh. He walked off the mound after throwing 6 1/3 scoreless innings against the Cardinals. Gave up 5 hits, no runs, struck out 8, walked none. Dropped his season-long ERA as a rookie to 2.43. Pittsburgh opened the game in the ninth. They won 2-1. And the Cardinal fans were on their feet cheering Paul Skeens. I was listening to a show on the way in this morning, and national guy ripping the St. Louis fans for cheering for their opponent. And my opinion is so on the other side of it. You're look, man, if game can't recognize game, and I have been at a game where, and look, granted, it's been a long time since I just go as a fan, but I've been there. Even when I'm there with my kid, if I recognize a great play by the opponent or something's going on, the opponent has a great effort, great game, man, I'm not too proud to get on my feet and cheer. Were Cardinal fan, in your opinion, wrong for standing up and cheering Paul Skeens' performance against their team? Does that make them soft or whatever you want to throw at them?
No.
Right? If Lobo fan got on their feet, let's just say,
I do think in that aspect of baseball season, a bajillion games over the summer, and he had a young rookie who's just on fire right now, one of the biggest young names in the game.
Yes.
Pitching like that. Come on, they're not doing a standing ovation in October.
No, that's fine. It's the middle
June
of
11th.
So let me give you what I think is analogous. It would be a early January game against Colorado State, and Isaiah Stevens goes for 44 and fouls out, and you wouldn't know.
I don't see that ever happening.
Would that be analogous, though? I mean, would it be wrong for a Lobo fan to go, "Hey, man, you played a hell of a game"? That's just wrong.
I don't think it's wrong. I don't believe I'd see that happen.
I think you're probably right, but I think it's analogous of the way it would be. And if it did, I'd be okay with it. You'd be recognizing, damn, that dude's really good. You scored 44 and you went nuts on us, and you were really good. Oh, by the way, we're still winning. All right. Find Paul Skeens. He's one of the great things that's going on in baseball. Jerry West passed away this morning at 86. I've asked the question, who is the best Laker of all time? And you've responded quite a bit today. And you can do that at 505-246-0610 on the text line, on the phone line, or on the email, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. All right, Aaron Rodgers, we've talked about this. JJ, the reports this morning, he will skip all of minicamp. What is it, 3 days, 4 days? And the reason is he prefers to be somewhere else away from football. And the wording on this is just getting more and more bizarre. Robert Saleh came out and said Aaron had an event that he needed to go to, and it's an unexcused absence. Sports Illustrated this morning's Andy Nesbitt wrote a story, and it said, "We've now learned the veteran quarterback will be skipping the team's entire minicamp because he, quote, prefers to be somewhere else away from football, end quote. This was initially reported by Diana Rossini from The Athletic. And it was his choice to not show up. She said Aaron Rodgers is skipping the Jets' mandatory minicamp because he prefers to be somewhere else away from football. That's his choice. Okay. Words mean something, right? JJ, if he has an event that he has to go to or there's something, I don't even care if it's a concert. If it's, dude, I prefer to be somewhere else. That sounds totally different, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I mean, for a guy who said to keep away all the BS that's not football.
He prefers to be somewhere else.
Is this a part-time job?
It's like, well, I went to voluntary, so I don't have to be there for mandatory.
This dude, man, this is, you're right. He's the smartest guy ever. And it's about me. And you guys need to stop all the BS because I'm feeding enough for the rest of the world. All this, that was his words, right? All this non-football BS that isn't about winning football. You guys got to stop because I'm just going to feed enough for all of us. At some point, his teammates just go, dude, who are you? You're making $50 million a year. You took 4 snaps. I wonder how this is going to play. If this is where this is going, and Diana Rossini's reported it right, and the dude just said, you know what, I just prefer not to. I'm good, man. I'll pay the $80,000. I make $50 million. Here's my $80,000 fine. Whatever. I prefer not to. It's summer. I'm in Cancun. I'm just gonna tell you, that's not sitting in the locker room. It's just not. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living?
Hey, good morning. Just some advice for people out there. You don't feed a baby chili. You don't accept money from an anti-gun group and then march with the NRA. And you don't take money from an artificial hot dog company. I mean,
why?
I don't blame them for doing what they did. Kind of goes against everything the hot dog competition stands for.
Does it, though? It's about eating, man. It goes against the brand that Nathan's is. But, no, I disagree with you, man. So what's the difference if I play in the Wells Fargo and I'm a pro golfer and I'm wearing Bank of America on my chest?
Well, I mean, if Wells Fargo says you can't do anything with any other brand and you're taking money from them, I suppose they could. I think it's kind of funny, actually, and I don't get competitive eating.
Yeah,
none
of us do.
I have a hard enough time with weight and controlling my weight without watching those people.
None of us get competitive eating. And there's some things where, like, I don't get it, and I'm really, really glad I don't get it. Like, I don't understand that mindset, and I'm really, really glad I don't. But
yeah, I've never been in an eating contest intentionally, I guess. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what would be the difference? You're playing in the Valero Alamo Bowl and you're endorsing Phillips 66, or you're playing in the John Deere whatever your golf tournament and you're endorsing Bad Boy mowers.
Obviously, well, Nathan's doesn't see it that way. I did want to switch gears tonight. This is it, and Dallas has just not played well and shot the ball well. So if they can make some shots, they can turn this into a series. If they lose this, it's all over. You're looking at sweep. I really think that Dallas is a good enough team to win tonight. We'll see how Doncic feels. That's pretty tough when you get nailed in the chest and you have a chest contusion.
Yep. And he'll get hit again. I promise you somebody's going to hit him in the chest again.
Oh, yeah, and, at this time of the year, everybody knows. It's like that scene in The Longest Yard where the prisoners get the guards' x-rays going over them. This is where you want to hit him.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Great movie. All right, man. See ya. I don't know if I think that it's against everything. I mean, it's competitive eating. Is it eating? I mean, that event is sponsored by a hot dog. But I guess I'm getting lost in the minutia here. If dude's endorsing another product and you consider it to be a competitive product, I get it. Isn't that free market? Isn't that, Nike makes Major League Baseball's uniforms. You got to wear their uniform, but you can wear your Under Armour shoes or your New Balance shoes. You're playing in a golf tournament that's sponsored by, we got a different one every week, right? Charles Schwab, but you're endorsing Merrill Lynch. You can still play, and actually in those ones, you can still wear your logos, right? You're going to have competing sponsors all the time. And we've talked about this in the bowl industry. What are we going to do when a young man comes in and plays in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl and is endorsing a cereal that's made by a different company?
Hey, it's when you say when you're at official events or press conferences, you can't show the logo. Go in there, right?
I maybe, or maybe you can, dude. I gotta believe, and I've never really paid a lot of attention to this, but at every tournament there's a backdrop, right? The golf tournament's got the backdrop, and it says Accentra or it says Travelers, or right? Right. So if you're playing in the Travelers, and my guy's endorsing Geico, and he's sitting in front of the Travelers backdrop with Geico on his chest, I'm sure it happens all the time.
Well, but it comes down to that event-specific rules. In golf, they're fine with the individual endorsements and the tournaments going hand in hand. We've seen it, let's take it like UFC. Remember, fighters used to have all kinds of sponsors, and the banner they'd roll over the cage behind them when they get an introduction. Their shorts were like NASCAR shorts, and then they went to Reebok, and they canceled all that.
So Reebok will not allow them to do any of that.
There was that.
Or UFC won't.
Yeah, there was that time where it's like, you're wearing Reebok shorts, ad. So it comes down to.
So that's a uniform, right? That's the league. That's your uniform.
So that Nathan's can do this, it comes down to the individual league or tournament.
Whatever their agreement is with the league.
But it's one that. It's like all you've done is really give Impossible the most pub that they're ever going to have.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. All right, 505-246-0610. It's funny, the response to the Rogers stuff with Diana Rossini's report this morning that Rogers just is choosing to do something else. That he's not at minicamp because he prefers to be somewhere else away from football. He's just had way too much football lately, JJ. He needs. He played 4 snaps last year. He's had a lot of football. That's way too much football. You look at it. If this is the case, I'm just going to tell you, man, they're a zoo, and there's a chance that dude starts to lose a locker. We're all out here busting our ass. We all rather be on the beach somewhere. When we're coming to mandatory workouts and working hours, and you just say, I'm good, man. I'm just going to pay because I can afford it because I make 50-something million. I'm just going to, I'm good. I don't have to go. I'm going to pay. If that, in fact, is what's going on, and that's what Diana Rossini's reporting this morning. Mandatory used to mean mandatory, right? Not mandatory unless you can buy your way out of mandatory. By the same token, what are they going to do? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Telling it like it is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Cheese is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been.
Albuquerque Professional Baseball Hall of Fame is going to have a new inductee. Yesterday, the Isotopes announced that Duke's catcher and their former manager, Mike Scioscia, former Dodger great, will be inducted in the Albuquerque Professional Baseball Hall of Fame Saturday, June 29th, coming up in a few weeks. Scioscia was first-round pick of the Dodgers back in '76. He played parts of 2 years with the Dukes, '79 and '80, and then was a manager in 1999, and went on 19 years as manager of the Angels World Championship. So he will be in town. They're doing a Zoom interview today, and it's a good one, man. I always enjoy this time of year when they do this, and I think Mike Scioscia is a good one. Dodger fans certainly remember Mike Scioscia, and he's a guy that's going to, I just think, resonate really, really well with the baseball people and the Hall of Fame people, and certainly Dodger fan. And that's when you think about the history of baseball in Albuquerque, the Dodger roots run deep. They always will. So many former Dodgers who came up through Albuquerque have been inducted, and this is the latest, and I think it's deserving. So Mike Scioscia will be inducted into the Albuquerque Baseball Hall of Fame coming up later this month. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. The big news this morning, the logo had passed away. Jerry West died this morning, age 86, considered, not considered, he's one of the best there ever was. And I asked you this question earlier. You start making lists, and I'm not big into list rating, but who's the greatest Laker? You can go through organizations and say, the best Miami Heat was Dwayne Wade, the best Orlando Magic was Shaq or Penny, or best Portland Trailblazer. You go through it, and there's a small list. Who's the best Laker? And Laker fan, I know, might be generational to you. Wilt, Jerry, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq. It gave me George Mikan. Who is it? You've been in all over that today. You're welcome to get back in it. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Analyst phone line. It is also our text line. We've been talking about Aaron Rodgers today and how he's missing. Again, the report this morning by Diana Rossini of The Athletic is that Rodgers will skip all of Jets' mandatory minicamp this week because, according to her report, he prefers to be somewhere else away from football. That's his choice. People are losing their mind. At first, JJ, when I heard this, he had an event, and that's how Robert Saleh said it. He had something that he needed to do, and it's unexcused. But we knew about it. He's been communicative, and I'm like, you know what, dude? There's life events. You're 40, 41 years old. You know how to play football. If there's an event that's really important to you, like go do your thing. The older you get in life, the more stuff you got to do. And I understand he doesn't have kids and he's single, but Colin Cowherd's got this theory. He says guys who never get married, don't have kids, get into their 40s, have a ton of money, just get, in his words, he says they get weirder. They just get kookier. I don't know if there's something to that or not. But guys with a lot of money, first of all, certainly feel empowered, and money is power. You have a lot of influence. Aaron's a bright dude. But I just, if this is the case, JC, to me, the wording on this is really, really different. And I know it's subtle, but it's really different. If you're telling me he's got an event that's important to him that he had to go do, you know what, man, go do your thing, go live. We'll find you a camp. We're going to be. If the answer is, quote, he prefers to be somewhere else away from football, that's his choice. Just like, I'm not into this. To me, that's something different. I don't know that it sits well in the line.
I agree with that. I think it's going to get dudes on edge of going, well, we'll find out what it is exactly. Was it like, hey, this specific, wilderness ayahuasca retreat only happens this time, so that's why I did it.
It was darkness and ayahuasca and wilderness.
So it's got to be
all
something
rolled
like
into
that
one
as opposed to a trip that you could have done during voluntary time and not miss mandatory time. But it's at some point it's going to be a little grinding, but it's not going to throw that team off because he's their only hope. If he goes out there and he's playing bad for a few weeks, that's where it gets different. But right now, the fact that he's not at mandatory minicamp, it can be like, oh, I have to answer these questions, but he is still that team's only hope.
And everybody's like, man, Aaron's good, and we know he's good, and he's been here long enough. When he shows up, he's going to be good, and he's got to do what he's got to do. We're fine with it. Nobody's angry, right? I got the team line. Everything you just said is all the BS he said they don't want. And because it's that market, like you might be able to get away with this crap in Green Bay, right? It festers because it's New York. Like it festers because it's the National Football League. But it exponentially festers because it's New York and what the media is and what that whole, you think the Lobos are in a fishbowl here, right? Because they're the only thing, but there's so many more, and everybody's talking. It's New York, dude, and they're looking for this, and you're feeding it, and especially when you're the guy who said all these distractions. Your words were all this non-football BS. We just got to get rid of it and win. Aaron Rodgers, the bleep that has nothing to do with winning needs to get out of the building. End quote. That was it. Now he's going to tell you, and this is all you guys doing this. No, man. When the quarterback who's making $50-something million, who's the center of everything you do, decides, if in fact this is the case, that he prefers to be somewhere else away from football instead of at mandatory minicamp, yeah, there's going to be noise. Now you can tell me it's unnecessary noise, it's fabricated, it's bull bleep, it's all blown. You might even be right with all of it, but it's New York, and where does it stem from? Well, I didn't do anything. No, you did. You're the thing that started. You're the ignition here. Now, did everybody else take it and run with it? Do I think it's that big of a deal? 100%. I don't think it's huge. I think it's something if the dude just said, you know what, I don't want to be. But I'm just going to tell you, in New York, and with that dude who said, quote, the bleep that has nothing to do with winning needs to get out of the building, end quote, and then he comes and feeds you the bleep that has nothing to do with winning and brings it into the building, and he's not even in the building. He dropped it in the building for everybody else to deal with. How uncomfortable did Robert Saleh, their head coach, look standing at that podium having to deal with that bleep?
That's why I think it should have been addressed in a formal statement right before mandatory minicamp. If your starting quarterback isn't going to be there and you know it,
and that's fine, but he still would have had to stand there.
Yeah, but you address it and you say, that's all I'm saying on this. It's an excused absence because it's the way you treat it. Boom.
Okay, fine. Then that's on them too.
Yeah.
But he did this to them. This is what he did, and he's out wherever he is, and he didn't have to deal with any of this crap. It's kind of who he is, no?
Yes.
I'm above it. I got all this money. Whatever, man. Here's $100,000. I make $52 million. I'd rather be at wherever I am. Dude, he could be sitting at home laughing. He might be in his high-rise in New York. He could be anywhere, right? Doesn't matter. If what Diana Rossini is saying is right, that the answer is, quote, he prefers to be somewhere else away from football. That's his choice. End quote. And his quote is, the bleep that has nothing to do with winning needs to get out of the building, end quote. Come on, man. And I promise you, I know how he's, and you do too, you know how he's going to react. Like, this is nothing, this is overblown, I had stuff to do. Like, what are you making it all about? He knows what he stirs. Like this guy is really, really calculated. It's very LeBron-esque, right? He knows what he's doing. He knows what the reaction's going to be. It's all a freaking experiment. He says, watch this. I'm going to drop this load of poop right in Robert Saleh's lap, and let's see how he handles it. What's Garrett Wilson going to say? What do you got?
Well, before we get to break here, I just want to throw out a question. Yeah. Why is it a given that Wilt Chamberlain is above everyone when we talk about greatest Lakers?
I don't know what it is.
No, but there's a lot of people that are saying, Wilt Chamberlain. Why?
Sheer numbers?
Yeah.
Where are you seeing that?
Well, we've asked the question.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been throwing out there Wilt Chamberlain on their list. And you've said Wilt Chamberlain. It's only
Shouldn't
5 years, one championship.
Shouldn't he be on the list? You don't think?
I don't. Is he better than Kareem and Shaq for the Lakers? Because we're talking about Wilt Chamberlain, not the Lakers.
Yeah, a lot of it was
for the
Philadelphia.
numbers.
He did win a championship. Probably should have won a couple more.
Should have.
Yeah, but didn't. Yeah, no, I get it.
Shaq, 8 years, 3 titles, and MVP.
Sheer numbers, right? Though I mean, sheer the enormity of the numbers.
But the enormity of the numbers as a Laker or as a career player.
It's a fair question. Yeah, it's a fair question. I don't know that a lot of people come back with Wilt is the answer. In fact, very few people come back with Wilt is the answer. Magic is the most I hear. I hear some Kobe as who's the greatest Laker.
Even as if you're saying the center.
Yeah,
he's
Kareem.
Third.
It's Kareem. Yeah. I mean, Kareem was until this year the leading scorer in the history of the league. He did win a championship with Milwaukee. But, I mean, totally different than Shaq, right? Different in everything. His game, his personality, everything. I think you're right as far as numbers. Wilt's number 3 in the center. But when I ask the question, I very rarely very rarely hear people say Wilt is the greatest Laker. I'll hear West. I'll hear Kareem, Shaq, Kobe, and certainly Magic. Who's the greatest Laker ever? 505-246-0610. And your thoughts on the Rodgers thing, man? I mean, is it just nothing like he's going to tell you, or if in fact he just prefers to be somewhere else? Then to me that's kind of. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part,
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports.
Jerry West passed away today. Quote on the competitiveness of the NBA, Jerry West. The word dog comes up a lot. Well, I was a wolf. I used to eat dogs. Jerry West. Comparing himself to this, players of nowadays. The opening drive, Jeff, JJ, 505-246-0610. I've asked you, who's the greatest Laker? Jerry West comes up. Kobe, Shaq, Kareem, Magic, West. What do you like? I'm seeing the Phil Steele magazine came out. And we should try to track down Phil Steele because he's always good. He's the College Football Preview magazine. And I saw Air Force San Jose State. Everybody's tweeting, posting the guys that are first team all conference. I'm going to guess then the Lobos had nobody because I didn't see anything out from UNM on that. But everybody's posting all that. Mountain West going to be interesting this year. It's I think the Lobos are better than people think, although I don't know why I think that. It's new, and I think because people think they're going to win one or two games. I think they're better than that. I hope. San Diego State, we've seen an over under at 4.5 is so odd for San. Like, just when was the last time we saw that? How good's Boise State, Fresno State? Who are the best quarterbacks? What is the transfer portal? We're gonna learn a lot over the next few weeks, and then media days in about a month. 505-246-0610. Dan, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Dan? Hello, Dan.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. What's happening?
How come you guys don't talk about the supporting cast of the Lakers of the back in the air with James Worthy, Byron Scott, Kurt Rambis, A.C. Green, Michael Cooper?
What's the point?
They didn't have some of their players on those teams. Those players wouldn't be where they're at, right?
No argument, but that's a totally different conversation. Nobody's downplaying the worth of Worthy. Would you call James Worthy or Kurt Rambis one of the best Lakers ever?
I would put James Worthy up in at least the top 10 if it wasn't for him. With that power, I don't know if he was a small forward or a power forward. I think he was a
small forward.
He set that team up pretty good to contend, don't you think?
No, 100%. And he was a really valuable piece. I just don't think he's one of the greatest Lakers. He's not Shaq, Kobe, Magic, Kareem. He's on that next shelf. I think he is a great Laker. I don't think he's one of the top 5 or 6 ever. And I'm a big James Worthy guy. All right, he gone?
Well, we can't just have a dog.
Can't have a dog barking in the background. All right, I'm good. But I mean, look, he says, why don't you guys ever talk about those guys? I mean, conversation today was the top of Jerry West passed. Yeah, they're big. You can go all the way down the list, man. You can go to Gail Goodrich, Happy Harrison, James Worthy, Norm Nixon, Kurt Rambis, all those. Yeah, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, Derek Fisher. There were a lot of contributing great Lakers. This isn't anything to diss on those guys. The conversation this morning with Jerry West passing, and I hear this all the time, who's the best Laker? James Worthy. If you want to tell me James Worthy's in that conversation, I could listen to it. I don't think he is Magic, Kobe, Kareem, Shaq, right? But if there's a next level, yeah, he's on that. James Worthy was great. I believe James Worthy to be a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I'm not downplaying that at all. If you want to talk to me about great role players of all of Lakers history, hit it. I don't know if James Worthy was a role player. I mean, he was a star. Jamal Wilkes. How are you going to forget Jamal Wilkes? Right? But as far as, I mean, statue guys, who's getting your statues? That's all I'm saying. There's no disrespect intended towards James Worthy or Kurt Rambis. But with all respect due, Kurt Rambis is not in the same ilk as Kobe, Kareem, Shaq. That's all I'm saying. Jerry West. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Howie.
What's up, gentlemen?
How you living?
I'm living all right, but you guys are selling Wilt short. I mean, he is the greatest all-time Laker as far as his accolades with women. Am I correct?
No doubt. In fact, probably the best. Yeah. Yeah. Now, how much of that was done in L.A. and how much was done, on the road? But I don't matter. Did he take off his Laker uniform or did he take off his Philadelphia uniform to achieve that success? It doesn't. Yeah.
I'm telling you, from what his claims are, I don't think he could afford time to take them off. So, but anyhow, I don't even consider Wilt top two. I kind of figure on Kareem and Shaq, and then I think of Wilt.
I think a lot of people are there. I think that's right, and that's okay, especially as a Laker.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, especially as a Laker. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do remember that team as a youngster with Wilt, and I think it was Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich, Jerry West, and I'm trying to remember the three forward.
Was it Happy Harrison?
I know it might have been Happy Harrison because Elgin was power, Happy Harrison, he had Gail Goodrich and Jerry West in the backcourt. That was quite a Lakers team back in the day.
Yeah, and a dude named Happy is
no kidding, huh?
Happy anymore. Yeah, find me some
You would
more.
hope to not ever see a frown on his face. Have a good day, guys.
See you. Find me more dudes named Happy. I don't even know what Happy Harrison's real name was. You probably could look that up. Happy Harrison's. Back in the day, dude, did they have like Slurpee cups with players' pictures on them when you were a kid? You go over to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee cup. We used to get those all the time. They'd have the Lakers players on them. And then you'd run them through the washing machine. Their faces would get faded and faded and faded and faded and faded. That was one of my favorites was the Happy Harrison Slurpee cup from 7-Eleven. Hello, Dan. How you doing? You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Dan.
Hey, guys. Hey, Jerry West, real quick, man. I was a kid, and I saw Jerry West, Gail Goodrich, Elgin Baylor, Happy Hairston, and Will Chamberlain. They're starting five. And they went up against the New York Knicks, who had Willis Reed, DeBusschere, Bradley, who became a U.S. Senator and ran for the presidency of the country. And they had Walt Frazier and Dick Barnett in the backcourt. Yep. And those teams, the Knicks teams of those years, the Laker teams of those years, the Celtics, and the Milwaukee Bucks were the four top teams in the NBA during that time. And Jerry West was an unbelievable basketball player. He was, like you talk about Mr. Laker, that guy was Mr. Laker. He brought them their first championship against the New York Knicks in Game 7 in Los Angeles, and they won 114-100. And, those Laker teams from then on in became the dynasty that they are today. But they they cut their teeth in 1972 winning their first championship against the New York Knicks. They were great basketball back then, and it's sad the guy died, but he is Mr. Laker, man, and Mr. Basketball. That's it, guys. Bye.
I appreciate it. So, Dan thinks he's the greatest Laker. And again, I think it's going to be generational. What do you remember? But Jerry West was that good. Jerry West, those early 70s teams, he was that good. Happy Harrison's name was Harold. From Winston-Salem went to NYU. Harold played by the Cincinnati Royals back. That was the team for which Oscar Robertson initially started. All right, 505-246-0610. Dan says, replying to JJ on Wilt, Jeffrey, isn't Wilt a great 76er before a Laker? Just like Kareem is considered a Laker, not a Milwaukee Buck. Yeah, Wilt spent a lot of his career in Philadelphia. Back in and won a championship with the Lakers. So, yeah, a lot of those numbers, and including the 100-point game, was in Philadelphia. So, yeah. I think that particular game was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken. And there's no video. Imagine a game, anything being done, let alone an NBA basketball game without video. I mean, you can't imagine your kid's game being done without video today. But an NBA game where a guy scored 100, allegedly. Didn't have any video. All right, we'll wrap it up. Everything you got to know. I got time for you still. 505-246-0610 if you want to keep them coming. Who's the best Laker ever? Jerry West passed away. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and the AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Sports Animal. You know, totally unfair in this conversation that Elgin Baylor never made of all-time best Lakers. But what do you do? Ed sent me a text, says, man, the starting five gets screwed up with great center. I'd still play Worthy at the 4, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, and West, Elgin Baylor, Wilt, and Shaq off the bench. Not even, get into who would your starting five be of all-time great Lakers. I mean, you're given.
Would the all-time Lakers team beat?
Yeah,
everyone.
The Celtics would be really good, dude, with Russell, Havlicek.
Yeah, Bird.
Yeah, Bird. I mean, McHale. With Garnett and or Paul Pierce beyond that. The current guys are pretty damn good. But I mean, you're going to be hard pressed. This is a pretty good team. So. Would you start? I mean, would you start Worthy at the 4, or would you play Kareem at the 4 and Shaq at the 5? Your backcourt is Magic, Kobe, and Jerry West, right? I mean, where else are you going? It's Magic, Kobe, and Jerry West, and then
so Magic could be your 3.
Magic would be your point guard, I think, but it means big enough to be your. But yeah, I mean, everything's position.
Bring the ball up.
Magic, Kobe, West, Kareem, and then either Worthy or Shaq. And then off the bench, you got Elgin Baylor, Shaq. Wilt. I mean, it's bonkers, right?
Coop.
I mean, you're filling out the roster.
Gotta have a little wing play in there.
Yeah. You're filling out the roster with Coop. Yeah, I'm down. Does LeBron make the team?
No.
Right? I'm not arguing with you. James Worthy before LeBron is a great Laker. I absolutely agree with that dude that called earlier. But this isn't dissing Kurt Rambis and anybody else. It was like the conversation was who's the best Laker because Jerry West passed away this morning. Age 86, and I just he's the logo. And by the way, I am adamant on this one. Like you can't sway me. A lot of times I'll listen to arguments. There are people who are telling me, oh, well, Kobe, there's been a conversation. Kobe should be the logo of the NBA. And I'm a huge Kobe guy. And I think Kobe is honored by having his name on the All-Star MVP, but you got a logo, man. And to take Jerry West off of a logo that is iconic, that is recognized, you honored this dude years and years and years ago, and he did nothing to sully or soil that honor. That guy's the logo, and he should live in perpetuity as the logo. What are people going to be talking about as you go through the day? Jerry West passing away at 86. Game 3 NBA Finals tonight. It'll be in Texas. Boston with a 2-0 lead against the Mavericks. 6:30 our time. Kristaps Porzingis, questionable with the torn medial retinaculum, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon in his left leg. He's got a left leg. Luka Doncic, probable. He's going to probably get shot up again in the chest with his contusion there. That's really your big stuff today. Aaron Rodgers is in the camp too, and that'll get a lot of love. Diana Rossini of The Athletic is reporting that Rodgers will miss all of mandatory minicamp for the Jets because, quote, he prefers to be somewhere else away from football. That's his choice, end quote. Yes, people will be talking about it. And Joey Chestnut. And Joey Chestnut is canceled. Him and Major League Eating have canceled the 4th of July. He's not allowed to compete in the Nathan's famous hot dog. Have you ever tried to do that?
Impossible Takeover. Have you ever tried an eating contest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but you had an hour to eat.
It was like
burger.
an eating challenge, not necessarily speed.
So you and Michael Ann did that, right? We went out. It was Fuddruckers. It was like eat the 100-pound burger. What was it? Was it a full 3 pounds or something?
It was a pound. The burger patty itself was a pound.
And then the bread,
and then
the
it was
fries.
bread, and then there were fries on top of that.
I remember watching you do that. I remember how you started out, and I remember you going through it and then watching your face.
Yeah, the burger,
it was
fries,
good.
Got it. Bun, nope, no chance.
And you left the bun for last, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll kill you. You ever done one of those speed eating things, though, where you just tried to cram as much down your gullet as you could in 10 minutes or whatever? See, that's where I think I would sue.
Yeah, that's a different... it's one thing to kind of sit there for an hour and try to consume a lot of something, because kind of all of our weekends, but...
And you weren't allowed to get up and evacuate, right? That was part of the deal?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think restroom breaks were in there if it was, on it. But it's some of the things I think you brought up the tamales. Chestnut was 102 tamales in 10 minutes.
Oh. Dude, I can't eat 2 tamales. I like tamales. They're not my favorite, but they're fun. But they're so thick.
This stuff is insane. They do in 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah, tripping on that Major League Eating site was just some of the stuff that they've got in there, and they got eater rankings in the contest. And here's how you can host an event or you can participate. You're like, what are we doing? Strawberry shortcake. You're down with that? That was your favorite? I guess so.
It sounds a little lighter.
What's
as opposed to the ribs or
what's smoked poutine?
Poutine that's the fries with gravy or something, the Canadian thing.
The Uranus Fudge Galactic Championship. The St. Robert, Missouri.
Uranus. No,
is that what it says? Uranus. Isn't that that's the planet, right? Uranus? Uranus Fudge Galactic Championship. It's the inaugural one they just had. Who won? I want to know what. Some dude ate 13.5 pounds of Uranus fudge. A guy named James Webb. You got to. Stop. You know what he got for that? How much do you think he won?
$1,000.
$5,000.
Oh, okay.
The total oh no, I'm sorry, you're no, that's not right. $5,000 was the total purse. He won $2,500. Second place got 12. Third got $650. Fourth got 400. I like 13.5 pounds of fudge
in your gut.
13.5 pounds. Like, those are more than the dumbbells you're using to work out while you do your little aerobic thing, right? Some people. I mean, not
who are you talking to?
Not somebody like you. It was at the Uranus Fudge Factory in St. Robert, Missouri. All right,
You know what this means, Jeff?
What, I'm going to go Zook?
No, I am looking forward to an Isleta, New Mexico Bowl eating competition on the calendar.
All right, actually, that could be fun. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 minutes here at 4. And then you get Ice Topes baseball against the Chihuahuas. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great stuff. Great contribution. Thank you. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.